Angolan President João Lourenço pledged on Thursday to be the president of all Angolans during his inauguration for a second term in the capital, Luanda. The ceremony took place under a heavy security presence after elections whose results were disputed by the opposition. The Popular Movement for the Liberation of Angola, MPLA, in power since independence from Portugal in 1975, won the elections held on the 24th of August with 51.17% of the vote, its lowest ever score. In Zimbabwe, the Bishop of Harare held a memorial service for the late British monarch Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away last week. The service was held at the Anglican Church in the capital, Harare.
We think of you and would like to reassure you of our prayers for the royal family, the new King, King Charles III, and the people of the United Kingdom of Great Britain, the realms and Commonwealth upon the death of the late Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
The service was attended by a mixed congregation of black and white participants. The British ambassador to Zimbabwe also took part in the service.
We've come together in this beautiful cathedral to give thanks for the life of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. It is a fitting place for us to do so in the sanctuary of the faith she held dear.
The Queen's death a week ago has stirred mixed feelings among some Africans about the legacy of colonialism. The Queen's death a week ago has stirred mixed feelings among many Africans about the legacy of colonialism on a continent where Britain once ruled more than half the territory. The re-elected president of Angola, João Lourenço, took office this Thursday, starting his second mandate. In his inauguration speech, João Lourenço elected social welfare and the economy as his priorities.
Continuaremos a investir no ser humano.
We will continue to invest in human beings as the main agents of development, in their education and training, in healthcare, in decent housing, in access to drinking water and electricity, in basic sanitation. We will continue to work on policies and good practices to promote and encourage the private sector of the economy, to increase the supply of nationally produced goods and services, increase exports, and create more and more jobs for Angolans, but especially for the younger people.
Para os angolanos, mas sobretudo para os mais jovens.
On the external front, João Lourenço recalled that international law must take precedence over military action, appealing to Russia to end the conflict in Ukraine.
A República de Angola tem sempre defendido.
The Republic of Angola has always defended the importance of the use of dialogue and the peaceful resolution of conflicts, priming the unequivocal respect for international law.
Nesta conformidade,
accordingly, and taking into account the need to avoid escalation, we consider it important that the Russian authorities take the initiative to end the conflict, thus creating a better environment to negotiate a new architecture of peace in Europe and open the way for the much-desired and necessary reform of the United Nations Security Council.
E necessária reforma do Conselho de Segurança das Nações Unidas.
UNITA intends to continue the political debate at street level or by other democratically acceptable means. It has scheduled a peaceful nationwide demonstration for the 24th of September. How can Europe manage to secure abundant and cheaper electricity? One of the most ambitious projects in the planning is the interconnection of Europe with Egypt via Greece through an undersea cable that will carry 3,000 megawatts of electricity. By bringing 3,000 megawatts of clean energy to Europe via Greece, we are helping Europe wean itself of Russia's fossil fuels and natural gas. Also, the green energy we will transport will be much cheaper than today's energy prices. You understand that this will help both Greek and European consumers. The so-called GREGY interconnection is a €3.5 billion project that has been categorized as a project of common interest by the European Union. It will carry clean electricity produced in Egypt through solar or wind parks. Approximately 1/3 of all the electricity that will come from Egypt will be consumed in Greece and mainly in Greek industries. Another third will be exported to neighboring European countries, and 1/3 will be used in Greece for the production of green hydrogen. The majority of this hydrogen will also be exported to neighboring European countries. Egypt has completed interconnections with Libya, Sudan and Saudi Arabia and aspires to become a major energy hub for Southeast Europe too.
Leadership of President Adesina, we also have
U.S. Special Presidential Envoy for Climate John Kerry refused to hold all responsibility for dealing with the consequences of climate change. Speaking at the African Ministerial Conference on the Environment, taking place in Dakar, Kerry said all had to bear responsibility.
But others, despite what the science is saying, hold back, saying, pointing the finger elsewhere, you guys created it, you guys have to cure it. Well, guess what, folks? Mother Nature does not measure where the emissions come from. They don't have a label of one country or another on them. They are from all of the choices we make about how we move our vehicles, how we heat our homes, how we light our businesses.
The U.S. Special Envoy for Climate stressed the need to mitigate, but also adapt to the coming changes.
We need to adapt. We need to adapt seriously and significantly all around the world, and particularly in Africa. So yes, we need to mitigate, but in Africa and around the world, we need to adapt to this planet that is already moving towards the 1.5.
We were there in Paris.
China tops the list of the world's worst polluters, followed by the United States.
My sister, who was co-organizing the summit, is